Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Former Michigan State University football coach, athletic director, and trustee George Perles has died. That story topping our news here at noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evrod Cassimy. Perles played football for Michigan State back in the 1950s, then was the team's head coach from 1983 to 1994. He also coached in the NFL before returning to Michigan State to serve as the school's athletic director. He was elected as a Democrat to the Board of Trustees in 2006. Rod Maloney takes a look back at his legacy.
I would expect the University of Pittsburgh, Penn State, Michigan to buckle up. Maybe everybody in this room doesn't understand that term, but if you write it, they will.
On July 16, 1934, Detroiters Julius and Nellie Perles had their one and only son, George Julius Perles. In 1952, he graduated as an all-state lineman from Detroit Western High School in the days before they wore face masks, which in many ways defined George's approach to the game and even life. Western won the state championship that year. Graduating at the height of the Korean War, George went directly into the Army. When he completed his tour in 1956, Perles played tackle for Michigan State for another MSU football coaching legend, Duffy Daugherty. But George's playing career abruptly ended in 1958 when he blew out his knee as a sophomore. Still, with football in his blood, he stayed a Spartan as a student coaching assistant. In 1972, though, opportunity knocked as Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Fame coach Chuck Noll hired George to coach his defensive line. There, George blossomed into one of the great football minds in the game's history. He designed a defense called the Stunt 4-3, which fans eventually nicknamed the legendary Steel Curtain defense. With George as defensive coordinator and later assistant head coach, the Steelers built a 1970s dynasty, winning 4 Super Bowls in 5 years. Michigan State hired him away as its head football coach.
And I want you to play tough, I want you to play mean, I want you to play with strength, I want you to play as tough as you can. And if you're tough and you do it within the rules, when you come in this locker room, I'll be proud of you. And that's all I can ask from you.
He arrived in Pasadena for the Rose Bowl.
Michigan State has it, and they now can genuinely celebrate. The Big Ten has come to Pasadena and will go home a winner.
With his success, George got an offer to coach the Green Bay Packers. He parlayed that into becoming MSU's athletic director for a controversial couple of years. By 1994, the Spartan football program hit tough times again. MSU fired George after the NCAA said that he lost institutional control. George and MSU settled that contract out of court.
He supported the Special Olympics. In 2008, he ran unsuccessfully for Michigan governor. Voters elected him to the MSU Board of Trustees twice thereafter, though. In his second term, the Larry Nassar scandal hit the university. The board, including George, took considerable criticism for allowing Nassar's long tenure before Nassar was sentenced to life in prison for molesting gymnasts under the guise of medical treatment. By then, Parkinson's disease had struck, forcing George into a wheelchair. And it was Parkinson's that forced Perles to resign from the board at the end of 2018.
We're following even more breaking news this afternoon, this time from Capitol Hill. President Donald Trump addressed the nation after Iran fired more than a dozen ballistic missiles at 2 Iraqi air bases housing U.S. troops. President Trump says Iran appears to be, quote, standing down. And here's a look at more of what he had to say.
No Americans were harmed in last night's attack by the Iranian regime.
Iran's attack overnight came after the United States killed their top general, Qasem Soleimani. And as both countries plot their next moves, Washington lawmakers have been pounding the table both for and against escalation. Here's Jennifer Johnson to break all down the reaction from Capitol Hill.
Flanked by his top generals, President Trump today addressing the nation and playing down Iran's missile attack on Iraqi bases housing U.S. forces.
The American people should be extremely grateful and happy. No Americans were harmed in last night's attack by the Iranian regime. Iran appears to be standing down, which is a good thing for all parties concerned and a very good thing for the world.
Today, Iran's supreme leader bragged the strikes were a slap in the face to America for the killing of top General Qasem Soleimani last week. But U.S. officials point out Iran's attack was relatively modest in scope. The White House is defending the drone strike that killed Soleimani, saying intelligence showed he planned an imminent attack against Americans in the region. Democrats infuriated they weren't given advance notice.
You've got members of Congress sitting around waiting to see what comes up on their news feed about what Iran does today and what President Trump does tomorrow. We shouldn't just be passive spectators.
President Trump's decision to take out Soleimani has been met with mixed reactions, many fearing the general's death would lead to another war in the Middle East.
If they wanted to, they could have done a lot of damage. It's a great, it's a wonderful thing for America that we didn't have anybody killed last night.
Iran's foreign minister says his country does not seek an escalation or war. Jennifer Johnson, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Jennifer. This just in, the Michigan Supreme Court is changing its rules regarding cell phones in the courtroom. The new policy would allow electronic devices in the courtroom, and the change would let someone use those devices to access the internet and retrieve important court documents. Devices have to be put on silent in the courtroom and cannot be used to make or receive calls. Text messaging is allowed, however. That change will go into effect on May 1st. All right, we have new information this afternoon. The city of Madison Heights is taking action against Gary Sayers. He is the owner of the plant that spewed that toxic green chemical onto 696. Our Sandra Ali has been monitoring the developments from inside of the courtroom for us. She joins us now live from the Local 4 newsroom. Sandra, what happened in court this morning? First of all, was Sayers there?
Well, you know what, Everett, actually he was not present this morning during the motion hearing, and he's currently serving time in federal prison after pleading guilty to illegally storing that hazardous waste, and that's why this morning both lawyers went head-to-head in court.
The city of Madison Heights taking Sayers to court. They want him to demolish the old electroplating service plant, now polluted with the mysterious green ooze seeping onto the highway. The city says that will help them move forward in getting this resolved.
They'll be able to address the contamination that's underneath the building, as well as the contamination that's around the building.
As questions continue to swirl on how far the contamination has reached, folks with the city of Madison Heights say they'll demo the building themselves if he won't comply. But today, Sayers' attorney asked a judge to adjourn the case for a year, arguing his absence means he won't be able to defend himself inside the courtroom.
We have to move forward on this. It's very important that we get an order to demolish the building, and it will be demolished at the time when Eagle and EPA give us the go-ahead to do it.
The judge denied the motion, moving the civil trial forward.
We can hook it up through video and you can testify through video conference. All right, so the motion is denied.
And you heard the judge just there. The court will work with the Federal Prisons Bureau and have Sayers testify through video conference. That trial is set to move forward coming up on Monday. The city, of course, also hoping that EPA officials will testify on Monday. But so far, Everett, they are declining to do that.
Okay, Sandra, we do know that there are other sites of Sayers that the state agencies were looking into as well. Do you have an update on those and what's happening there?
Yeah, well, the Department of Environmental, Great Lakes and Energy took soil and water samples from that property that he owns in Sanilac County, and we're told that those samples were then sent out today. They will be tested, and they're actually that testing is going to be expedited as well. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester is in Lansing right now. He's talking to the spokesperson from Eagle, and he's going to have more on that coming up for us tonight at 5 and 6, of course, right here on Local 4. Everett?
Of course, we are staying on top of this. Sandra, thank you. Let's turn our attention to the forecast now as we take a live look outside from our beautiful Windsor Skycam, showing the beautiful skyline here in Detroit. I see some white stuff there, Brandon, on the ground, and we know that we had a nice little dusting overnight, and it's been snowing today.
We've had some dangerous snow bands coming through, reducing visibility. A lot of accidents this morning, and you can see a few flakes flying across the screen here in Ann Arbor, where we have not only the snow, but the cold and the wind. Low to middle 20s, that is the air temperature. Notice these winds out of the west-northwest are 10 to 20. So in Ann Arbor, 8 is your wind chill. Feels like 6 right now in Pontiac, 8 in Lapeer. It is single digits to low teens. that is it. But the snow showers are fading, so we don't expect any of those squalls or heavier bands, just more flurries and flakes, even some peaks of sun. But those dangerous wind chills with 10 to 25 mile-an-hour winds. In the 20s, it'll feel really, really cold, Evrod. So frostbite less than an hour if you are not layered up.
All righty. Brandon, thank you. Also making headlines this afternoon, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell are still in a standoff over the timing and scope of a Senate impeachment trial. Pelosi signaled late Tuesday that she would not transmit the 2 articles of impeachment for alleged abuse of power and obstruction of Congress centered on Trump's conduct towards Ukraine until Mitch McConnell unveils a resolution laying out the proposed rules of a trial. In the meantime, McConnell says that he's ready to begin the impeachment trial with no deal on witnesses. All right, so to come here on Local 4 News at noon, a Ukrainian plane carrying 176 people crashes, killing everyone on board. We have a look at what might have caused that plane to go down. But first, the Australian wildfires are a countrywide catastrophe, mainly caused by drought and extreme heat. But officials say dozens of people are directly to blame as well. We'll tell you what they allegedly did to spark those deadly fires next.